Hello, I'm Emma, your host for today, and I'm really happy you're here with me. If this is your first time joining us, let me warmly welcome you. On this channel, we share a new English learning video every single day to help you improve your English step by step in a simple, calm, and practical way. In today's lesson, you're going to build something very powerful for your English, not just your listening skills, but also your speaking and writing skills. Because today, we are focusing on a topic that can truly change how naturally you communicate in English, and that is everyday English phrases. In this lesson, you will learn more than 200 important English phrases that native speakers use in daily life. These are the kinds of phrases you hear in real-day conversations, at home, at work, with friends, on the phone, and in everyday situations. And the more you practice them, the more natural your English will start to feel. We're not just going to read phrases. No, we're going to understand how they are used, when to use them, and how to say them with confidence. I will guide you through real-life examples, simple explanations, and gentle practice exercises, so you can truly absorb these phrases and start using them in your own life. By the end of this video, you will feel more confident expressing your thoughts, responding in conversations, and understanding spoken English more easily. You will begin to notice these phrases everywhere, and that's when real learning begins. Before we begin, make sure to subscribe to the channel and press the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson, because consistent practice, even a little every day, can make a big difference in your English journey. And if you can, take a pen and some paper, or simply get ready to repeat after me. Because this lesson is not just for listening, it's for speaking, practicing, and building real fluency. So, take a deep breath, relax, and let's begin this journey together. One phrase at a time. Let's start with something simple and very useful. Phrases that you can use every single day without even thinking too much. Because real English is not about difficult grammar. It's about using the right phrases at the right time in a natural and comfortable way. Imagine you meet someone in the morning. Instead of thinking what to say, you can naturally say, "How's it going?" or "How are things?" These phrases are very common, and they sound friendly and relaxed. Now, listen carefully and repeat after me. How's it going? Good. One more time. How are things? Very nice. Now, let's build a small situation. You meet your friend after a long time. You can say, "It's been a while." This phrase is very natural and shows emotion. Repeat after me. It's been a while, and you can continue with, "How have you been?" Again, repeat. How have you been? Excellent. Sometimes, you want to respond in a simple and natural way. You don't need long sentences. You can just say, "I'm doing great," or "pretty good," or even "not bad." These short phrases are very powerful because native speakers use them all the time. Now, repeat slowly. I'm doing great. Pretty good? Not bad? Perfect. Let's practice a small conversation together. Listen first, then repeat. Hey, how's it going? Pretty good. What about you? Now, you repeat, slowly, take your time, feel the rhythm. This is how real English flows. Now, Let's move into daily routine phrases, things you say every morning. For example, when you wake up late, you might say, I overslept. Repeat, I overslept. Or when you feel tired, you can say, I didn't get enough sleep. Again, repeat, I didn't get enough sleep. Very good. If you are getting ready for your day, you might say, I need to get ready, or I'm running late. These are very common phrases. Repeat after me. I need to get ready. I'm running late. Excellent. Now, let's create a small real-life situation. You wake up, you look at the clock, and you say, oh no, I'm running late. Then you hurry and say, I need to get ready. Can you repeat this whole situation, slowly, with feeling? This is how you train your brain to think in English. Now, let's move to phrases you use at home. Very simple, but very important. For example, what's for breakfast? Repeat, what's for breakfast? Or you can say, I'm hungry. Repeat, I'm hungry. Very good. If you want to ask someone to wait, you can say, just a second, or give me a minute. These are very natural phrases. Repeat after me. Just a second. Give me a minute. Nice. Now. Imagine you are talking to a family member. You say, just a second. I'm coming. Or, give me a minute. I'm almost ready. Repeat these sentences. Slowly. Feel the natural flow. Now, let's move to phrases for making plans. Something you use almost every day. For example, are you free today? Repeat. Are you free today? Or, do you have any plans? Again, repeat. Do you have any plans? If you want to suggest something, you can say, let's hang out. Or, why don't we go out? Repeat after me. Let's hang out. Why don't we go out? Very natural, very useful. Now, let's practice a small conversation. Listen. Are you free today? Yeah, I don't have any plans. Great. Let's hang out. Now, you repeat. Take your time. Don't rush. Now. Let's talk about work or study phrases. Simple and practical. For example, I have a lot to do. Repeat. I have a lot to do. Or, I'm busy right now. Again, repeat. I'm busy right now. If you want to delay something, you can say, I'll do it later. Or, I'll get to it. Repeat. I'll do it later. I'll get to it. Excellent. Now, imagine you are working. Someone asks you for help. You say, I'm a bit busy right now. I'll help you later. Repeat this full sentence. Slowly. This is real-life English. Now. Let's move to phone conversation phrases. Very important in daily life. When you answer a call, you can say, hello? Who's this? Repeat. Hello? Who's this? Or more politely, may I ask who's calling? Repeat. May I ask who's calling? If you can't hear properly, you can say, I can't hear you. Or, can you speak louder? Repeat after me. I can't hear you. Can you speak louder? Very good. Now, practice a short phone situation. Hello, who's this? Hi, it's me. Sorry, I can't hear you. Can you speak louder? Now, you repeat, slowly, clearly, now. Let's move to expressing feelings. Something very important in communication. You can say, I'm really happy, or I feel tired. Repeat, I'm really happy. I feel tired. Good. If something surprises you, you can say, "That's amazing," or "I can't believe it." Repeat, "That's amazing." "I can't believe it." Excellent. Now, imagine your friend tells you good news. You say, "That's amazing. I'm really happy for you." Repeat this sentence, slowly, with emotion. Now, let's do a small practice exercise together. I will say a situation, and you respond using the phrases you learned. Ready? You meet a friend. What do you say? "How's it going?" Good. Next. You are late. What do you say? "I'm running late." Perfect. Now, another one. Someone calls you, and you can't hear them. What do you say? "I can't hear you." Excellent. This is how you build real fluency, by practicing again and again. Take a deep breath and repeat some key phrases with me one more time. How's it going? It's been a while. I'm running late. Let's hang out. I'm busy right now. I can't hear you. That's amazing. Perfect. You're doing really well. We are just getting started. And already you are building strong. Natural English. Keep your focus. Stay relaxed. And let's continue learning more powerful everyday phrases together. Let's continue building more natural and useful English phrases. And now, we'll focus on situations where you need to respond quickly. Because in real conversations, you don't always have time to think. So these ready-made phrases will help you. So speak more smoothly. Imagine someone tells you something, and you want to show you understand. You can say, "I see," repeat, "I see," or you can say, "Got it," again, "Got it." These are short, but very powerful phrases. If you agree with someone, you can say, "That makes sense," repeat, "That makes sense," or "You're right," again, "You're right," very good. Now, if you don't fully understand something, you don't need to stay silent. You can say, "I'm not sure I understand." Repeat, "I'm not sure I understand." Or, "Can you explain that again?" Repeat, "Can you explain that again?" Excellent. Let's build a small situation. Someone explains something fast. You can say, "Sorry, I'm not sure I understand. Can you explain that again?" Now, you repeat this full sentence, slowly. This is very useful in real life. Now, let's move into polite expressions. These are very important if you want to sound respectful and natural. For example, "Excuse me," repeat, "Excuse me," or "Sorry about that," repeat, "Sorry about that." Very nice. If you want to ask for something politely, you can say, "Could you help me?" Repeat, "Could you help me?" Or, "Would you mind helping me?" Repeat, "Would you mind helping me?" Excellent. Now, I imagine you are in a store. You say, "Excuse me, could you help me?" Repeat this whole sentence, slowly. Feel the natural tone. Now, let's learn phrases for giving opinions, something you use every day. You can say, "I think so." Repeat, "I think so," or "I don't think so." Again, "I don't think so." Good. If you want to be a little stronger, you can say, "I believe that," or "In my opinion." Repeat, "I believe that." In my opinion. Very useful phrases. Now, let's create a situation. Someone asks, "Do you think this is a good idea?" You can say, "I think so," or "In my opinion, it's a great idea." Now, you repeat both responses, slowly. Now, let's move to phrases for asking questions naturally, instead of using direct grammar. We often use simple patterns. For example, what do you mean? Repeat. What do you mean? Or, what are you talking about? Repeat. What are you talking about? If you want more details, you can say, can you tell me more? Repeat. Can you tell me more? Excellent. Now, imagine someone tells you something interesting. You say, really? Can you tell me more? Repeat this sentence, slowly. This is how conversations grow naturally. Now, let's talk about phrases for reacting to news. When someone tells you something, you can respond naturally. For example, no way. Repeat, no way. Or, that's interesting. Repeat, that's interesting. Very good. If you feel surprised, you can say, are you serious? Repeat, are you serious? Or, you're kidding. Repeat, you're kidding. Excellent. Now, let's practice a small dialogue. I just got a new job. No way. That's amazing. Now, you repeat slowly. Feel the emotion. Now, let's move into phrases for making decisions. Something we do every day. You can say, let me think. Repeat, let me think. Or, I'll think about it. Repeat, I'll think about it. Very natural. If you decide quickly, you can say, sounds good. Repeat, sounds good. Or, that works for me. Repeat, that works for me. Excellent. Now, I'll imagine someone invites you. You say, sounds good. That works for me. Repeat this full response, slowly. This is very common in conversations. Now, let's move to phrases for asking for time or delay. You can say, give me a moment. Repeat, give me a moment. Or, just hold on. Repeat, just hold on. Very useful. If you need more time, you can say, I'll get back to you. Repeat, I'll get back to you. Excellent. Now, let's create a real-life situation. Someone asks you a question. You say, let me think. I'll get back to you. Now, repeat this full sentence, slowly. Feel the natural flow. Now, let's talk about phrases for ending conversations politely. Very important. You can say, talk to you later. Repeat, talk to you later. Or, see you soon. Repeat, see you soon. Very nice. If you want to end politely on the phone, you can say, thanks for calling. Repeat, thanks for calling. Excellent. Now, imagine you finish a call. You say, all right, talk to you later. Take care. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's do a deeper practice exercise. I will give you situations, and you respond naturally. You didn't understand something. What do you say? Can you explain that again? Good. Someone gives you good news. What do you say? That's amazing. Perfect. Someone asks for your opinion. What do you say? In my opinion. Excellent. You need more time to decide? What do you say? I'll think about it. Very good. Now, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. I see. That makes sense. Could you help me? In my opinion. Can you tell me more? No way. Sounds good. I'll get back to you. Talk to you later. Perfect. You are doing really well. And the more you repeat these phrases, the more natural. See, they will become. Remember, fluency is not about knowing difficult words. It's about using simple phrases comfortably, again and again. Stay relaxed. Keep your focus, and let's continue building even more powerful everyday English phrases together. Let's continue, and now, we'll focus on some very practical phrases that you can use when you're outside, in public places, or interacting with people in everyday situations, because this is where real communication happens, and these phrases will help you feel more confident and natural. Imagine you are in a shop and you want to ask about something. You can say, "How much is this?" Repeat, "How much is this?" Or if you are looking for something, you can say, "I'm looking for this item." Repeat, "I'm looking for this item, Sado." Very good. If you can't find something, you can ask, "Do you have this?" Repeat, "Do you have this?" Or, "Is this available?" Repeat, "Is this available?" Excellent. Now, let's create a real-life situation. You go into a store. You say, "Excuse me, I'm looking for this item. Do you have it?" Now, you repeat this full sentence, slowly. Feel how natural it sounds. If you want to check the price or confirm, you can say, "Is this the final price?" Repeat, "Is this the final price?" Or, "Can you give me a discount?" Repeat, "Can you give me a discount?" Very useful. Now, let's move to phrases used in restaurants or cafes. Something very common in daily life. When you want to order, you can say, "I'd like to order." Repeat, "I'd like to order." Or, "Can I get this?" Repeat, "Can I get this?" Good. If you want to ask about the menu, you can say, "What do you recommend?" Repeat, "What do you recommend?" Or, "What's popular here?" Repeat, "What's popular here?" Excellent. Now, imagine you are ordering food. You say, "Hi, I'd like to order. What do you recommend?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly. This is very natural English. If something is not right, you can politely say, "I think there's a mistake." Repeat, "I think there's a mistake." Or, "This is not what I ordered." Repeat, "This is not what I ordered." Very important phrases. Now, let's move into travel-related phrases, things you use when you are moving around. For example, "Where is this place?" Repeat, "Where is this place?" Or, "How do I get there?" Repeat, "How do I get there?" Good. If you need help, you can say, "Can you show me the way?" Repeat, "Can you show me the way?" Or, "Is it far from here?" Repeat, "Is it far from here?" Excellent. Now, imagine you are asking for directions. You say, "Excuse me, how do I get there? Is it far from here?" Now, repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing problems, something we all need sometimes. You can say, "I have a problem." Repeat, "I have a problem." Or, "Something is wrong." Repeat, "Something is wrong." Very good. If something doesn't work, you can say, "It's not working." Repeat, "It's not working." Or, "It doesn't work properly." Repeat, "It doesn't work properly." Excellent. Now, imagine your phone is not working. You say, "Excuse me, I have a problem. My phone is not working." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, and let's move into phrases for asking for help. In daily situations, you can say, "Can you help me with this?" Repeat, "Can you help me with this?" Or, "I need some help." Repeat. I need some help. Very natural. If someone helps you, you should respond politely. You can say, "Thank you so much." Repeat. "Thank you so much." Or, "I really appreciate it." Repeat. "I really appreciate it." Excellent. Now, let's create a small situation. Someone helps you. You say, "Thank you so much. I really appreciate it." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Feel the gratitude. Now, let's talk about phrases for giving small responses. In conversations, these are very important to keep conversations going. You can say, "Exactly." Repeat, "Exactly." Or, "That's true." Repeat, "That's true." Very good. If you want to show interest, you can say, "Really?" Repeat, "Really?" Or, "That's nice." Repeat, "That's nice." Excellent. Now, imagine someone tells you something. You respond, "Really? That's nice." Repeat this full response, slowly. This is how natural conversations flow. Now, let's move into phrases for talking about time, something we use every day. You can say, "I'll be there soon." Repeat, "I'll be there soon." Or, "I'm on my way." Repeat, "I'm on my way." Very useful. If you are late, you can say, "I'll be a little late." Repeat, "I'll be a little late." Or, "Sorry for being late." Repeat, "Sorry for being late." Excellent. Now, imagine you are messaging someone. You say, "I'm on my way. I'll be there soon." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's do a focused practice exercise together. I will give you situations, and you respond, using the phrases we learned. You are in a shop and want to ask the price. What do you say? "How much is this?" Good. You are ordering food. What do you say? "I'd like to order." Perfect. You need directions. What do you say? "How do I get there?" Excellent. Something is not working. What do you say? "It's not working." Very good. Someone helps you. What do you say? "Thank you so much." Perfect. Now, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. How much is this? Do you have this? I'd like to order. What do you recommend? How do I get there? I have a problem. Can you help me with this? I really appreciate it. I'm on my way. Excellent. You are building strong and practical English, step by step, and these phrases will help you in real situations, not just in learning, but in real communication. Stay relaxed, keep practicing, and let's continue learning. Even more everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, we'll focus on very natural conversational phrases that help you sound more fluent and less robotic. Because one of the biggest differences between learners and native speakers is not vocabulary, but how smoothly they connect ideas and react in conversations. Imagine you are listening to someone and you want to show that you are following along. You can say, "Right." Repeat, "Right." Or, "Okay." Repeat, "Okay." These may seem simple, but they are used constantly in real conversations. If you want to show strong agreement, you can say, "Exactly. That's what I mean." Repeat, "Exactly. That's what I mean." Or, "I totally agree." Repeat, "I totally agree." Very natural phrases. Now, imagine someone is explaining something. You respond, "Right. I totally agree." Repeat this full response, slowly. This is how you sound engaged in a conversation. Now, let's move into phrases for correcting yourself, because in real life, we often change what we say, and that's completely normal. You can say, I mean, repeat, I mean, or what I'm trying to say is, repeat. What I'm trying to say is, excellent. For example, you start a sentence and then correct it. I'll meet you at 5. I mean, 6. Now, you repeat, slowly. This helps your English sound more natural and flexible. Now, let's talk about hesitation phrases. Very important when you need time to think. Instead of staying silent, you can say, well, repeat. Well, or let me see, repeat. Let me see. Very useful. If you need more time, you can say, that's a good question. Repeat. That's a good question. This gives you a moment to think while still speaking. Now, imagine someone asks you something difficult. You say, well, that's a good question. Let me think. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Feel the natural rhythm. Now, let's move into phrases for making suggestions in a friendly way. You can say, how about this? Repeat. How about this? Or, why don't we try this? Repeat. Why don't we try this? Excellent. If you want to be more casual, you can say, let's just do this. Repeat. Let's just do this. Very natural. Now, imagine you are with a friend deciding something. You say, how about this? Let's just do this. Repeat this full idea, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing uncertainty, something we use very often. You can say, I'm not sure. Repeat, I'm not sure. Or, it depends. Repeat, it depends. Very useful. If you want to be more specific, you can say, I'm not really sure about that. Repeat, I'm not really sure about that. Excellent. Now, imagine someone asks you a question. You say, I'm not sure. It depends. Repeat this response, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for giving reasons. To explain your thoughts clearly, you can say, because of that. Repeat, because of that. Or, that's why. Repeat, that's why. Very important phrases. For example, I stayed home because of that. Or, I was tired. That's why. Now, you repeat both sentences slowly. This helps you connect your ideas naturally. Now, let's talk about phrases for asking for clarification in a polite way. You can say, what do you mean by that? Repeat, what do you mean by that? Or, can you be more specific? Repeat, can you be more specific? Excellent. Now, imagine someone says something unclear. You respond, sorry, what do you mean by that? Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for softening your speech. Very important if you want to sound polite and natural. Instead of direct sentences, you can say, I think maybe. Repeat, I think maybe. Or, it might be better to. Repeat, it might be better to. Very good. For example, instead of saying, this is wrong, you can say, I think maybe this needs a change. Now, repeat this sentence, slowly. This makes your English sound more friendly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing preferences, something you use daily. You can say, I'd rather. Repeat, I'd rather. Or, I prefer. Repeat, I prefer. Excellent. For example, I'd rather stay home. Or, I prefer coffee. Now, Repeat both sentences. Slowly. Now. See, let's move into phrases for encouraging someone. You can say, "You can do it." Repeat, "You can do it." Or, "Don't worry about it." Repeat, "Don't worry about it." Very supportive phrases. Now, imagine your friend is nervous. You say, "Don't worry about it. You can do it." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's do a strong practice exercise together. I will give you situations, and you respond naturally. You agree with someone strongly. What do you say? I totally agree. Good. You need time to think. What do you say? Well, let me see. Perfect. You want to suggest something. What do you say? Why don't we try this? Excellent. You are not sure about something. What do you say? I'm not sure. Very good. You want to explain your reason. What do you say? That's why. Perfect. Now, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. Right. I totally agree. I mean, let me see. That's a good question. How about this? I'm not sure. That's why. Can you be more specific? I'd rather. Don't worry about it. Excellent. You are now starting to sound more natural, more confident, and more like a real English speaker, because these small phrases make a big difference. Keep going, stay relaxed, and let's continue building even more everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, we'll focus on even more powerful everyday phrases that help you manage real conversations smoothly, especially when things don't go perfectly, because in real life, conversations are not always clear, not always easy, and that's where these phrases become very useful. Imagine someone says something you didn't catch. Instead of staying silent, you can say, "Sorry, I missed that." Repeat, "Sorry, I missed that." Or, "Could you say that again?" Repeat, "Could you say that again?" Very natural and polite. If you only understand part of what they said, you can say, "I didn't quite get that." Repeat, "I didn't quite get that." Excellent. Now, so you imagine a real situation. Someone speaks quickly, you say, "Sorry, I didn't quite get that. Could you say that again?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly. This will help you in real conversations. Now, let's move into phrases for interrupting politely. Something very important in conversations. You can say, "Sorry to interrupt." Repeat, "Sorry to interrupt." Or, "Can I just say something?" Repeat, "Can I just say something?" Very useful. If you want to add your point gently, you can say, "Just to add." Repeat, "Just to add." Or, "I just want to say." Repeat, "I just want to say." Excellent. Now, imagine someone is talking. You say, "Sorry to interrupt. I just want to say something." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. This helps you join conversations naturally. Now, let's talk about phrases for changing the topic. Something that happens often. You can say, "By the way." Repeat, "By the way." Or, "That reminds me." Repeat, "That reminds me." Very common phrases. For example, "By the way, did you finish your work?" Or, "That reminds me, I need to call someone." Now, repeat both sentences, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for ending a topic smoothly. You can say, "Anyway." Repeat, "Anyway." Or, "So yeah." Repeat, "So yeah." These help you transition naturally. Now, Imagine you finish talking about something. You say, anyway, let's move on. Repeat this sentence. Slowly, now. Let's talk about phrases for apologizing. Something we all need. You can say, I'm really sorry. Repeat, I'm really sorry. Or, my mistake. Repeat, my mistake. Very useful. If you want to be more polite, you can say, that's my fault. Repeat, that's my fault. Excellent. Now, imagine you made a small mistake. You say, I'm really sorry, that's my fault. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for accepting apologies. You can say, no problem. Repeat, no problem. Or, it's okay. Repeat, it's okay. Very natural responses. If you want to be more relaxed, you can say, don't worry about it. Repeat, don't worry about it. Excellent. Now, imagine someone says sorry. You respond, no problem. Don't worry about it. Repeat this full response, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for giving compliments, something that makes conversations more friendly. You can say, that looks great. Repeat, that looks great. Or, you did a great job. Repeat, you did a great job. Very nice. If you want to be more expressive, you can say, that's really impressive. Repeat, that's really impressive. Excellent. Now, imagine your friend shows you something. You say, that looks great. You did a great job. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for responding to compliments. Very important. You can say, thank you, I appreciate it. Repeat, thank you, I appreciate it. Or simply, thanks a lot. Repeat, thanks a lot. Very natural. Now, imagine someone compliments you. You respond, thank you, I appreciate it. Repeat this full response, slowly, now. Let's talk about phrases for making small talk. Very important for daily conversations. You can say, nice weather today. Repeat, nice weather today. Or, it's a beautiful day. Repeat, it's a beautiful day. Simple, but very useful. If you want to ask casually, you can say, how's your day going? Repeat, how's your day going? Excellent. Now, imagine you start a conversation. You say, nice weather today. How's your day going? Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for checking understanding. You can say, do you understand? Repeat, do you understand? Or, does that make sense? Repeat, does that make sense? Very important phrases. If you want to confirm, you can say, is that clear? Repeat, is that clear? Excellent. Now, imagine you are explaining something. You say, does that make sense? Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's do a focused practice exercise together. Respond naturally. You didn't hear something. What do you say? Could you say that again? Good. You want to interrupt politely. What do you say? Sorry to interrupt. Perfect. You want to change the topic. What do you say? By the way. Excellent. You made a mistake. What do you say? That's my fault. Very good. Someone apologizes to you. What do you say? No problem. Perfect. Someone gives you a compliment. How do you respond? Thank you. I appreciate it. Excellent. Now, so let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. I didn't quite get that. Sorry to interrupt. By the way, anyway, I'm really sorry. No problem. That looks great. Thanks a lot. Nice weather today. Does that make sense? Excellent. You are now handling conversations more smoothly, more naturally, and more confidently. These phrases help you stay active in conversations, even when things are not perfect. Keep practicing. Stay calm. And let's continue building even more everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, we'll focus on more everyday phrases that help you manage real-life situations where emotions, reactions, and quick responses matter. Because in daily conversations, it's not just what you say, but how naturally and comfortably you say it. Imagine something goes wrong unexpectedly. You can react with simple phrases like, "Oh no," repeat, "Oh no," or "That's not good," repeat, "That's not good." Very natural reactions. If something is frustrating, you can say, "That's annoying." Repeat, "That's annoying." Or, "What a mess." Repeat, "What a mess." Excellent. Now, imagine you drop something. You say, "Oh no, what a mess." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Feel the emotion. Now, let's move into phrases for calming yourself or others. Something very useful. You can say, "It's okay." Repeat, "It's okay." Or, "Everything will be fine." Repeat, "Everything will be fine." Very comforting phrases. If someone is stressed, you can say, "Take it easy." Repeat, "Take it easy." Or, "Just relax." Repeat, "Just relax." Excellent. Now, I imagine your friend is worried. You say, "It's okay. Just relax. Everything will be fine." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for asking someone to repeat or slow down more politely. You can say, "Could you speak a bit slower?" Repeat, "Could you speak a bit slower?" Or, "Can you say that one more time?" Repeat, "Can you say that one more time?" Very useful. Now, imagine someone is speaking fast. You say, "Sorry, could you speak a bit slower?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for offering help. Something very important in daily life. You can say, "Do you need help?" Repeat, "Do you need help?" Or, "Let me help you." Repeat, "Let me help you." Very kind and natural. If you want to be more polite, you can say, "Can I help you with that?" Repeat, "Can I help you with that?" Excellent. Now, imagine someone is struggling. You say, "Hey, can I help you with that?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for refusing politely. Something we all need. Instead of saying no directly, you can say, "I'm not sure I can." Repeat, "I'm not sure I can." Or, "Maybe another time." Repeat, "Maybe another time." Very natural. If you want to be more clear, you can say, "I'd love to, but I can't." Repeat, "I'd love to, but I can't." Excellent. Now, imagine someone invites you. You say, "I'd love to, but I can't. Maybe another time." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for accepting invitations. You can say, "Sure, why not?" Repeat, "Sure, why not?" Or, "That sounds great." Repeat, "That sounds great." Very positive responses. Now, imagine someone invites you. You say, "That sounds great. I'd love to come." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing possibility. You can say, maybe, repeat, maybe, or it's possible. Repeat, it's possible. Very simple, but useful. If you want to be more natural, you can say, there's a chance. Repeat, there's a chance. Excellent. Now, imagine someone asks you, you say, maybe there's a chance. Repeat this full response. Slowly. Now. Let's move into phrases for expressing certainty. You can say, of course. Repeat, of course. Or, definitely. Repeat, definitely. Very strong and confident phrases. If you want to be even stronger, you can say, no doubt about it. Repeat, no doubt about it. Excellent. Now, imagine someone asks you something simple. You say, of course, definitely. Repeat this full response, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for giving advice. Something very common. You can say, you should try. Repeat, you should try. Or, I think you should. Repeat, I think you should. Very useful. If you want to be softer, you can say, maybe you could. Repeat, maybe you could. Excellent. Now, say imagine your friend asks for advice. You say, I think you should try this. Maybe you could start today. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for asking for opinions casually. You can say, what do you think? Repeat, what do you think? Or, how do you feel about it? Repeat, how do you feel about it? Very natural. Now, imagine you ask your friend, what do you think about this? Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. Something goes wrong. What do you say? Oh no. Good. Someone is stressed. What do you say? Just relax. Perfect. You want someone to speak slower. What do you say? Could you speak a bit slower? Excellent. You want to offer help. What do you say? Can I help you with that? Very good. You refuse politely. What do you say? Maybe another time? Perfect. You accept an invitation. What do you say? That sounds great. Excellent. You give advice. What do you say? I think you should. Very good. Now, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. Oh no. That's annoying. It's okay. Take it easy. Could you speak a bit slower? Let me help you. Maybe another time? That sounds great. There's a chance. Of course. I think you should. What do you think? Excellent. You are now becoming more comfortable handling real-life conversations, reacting naturally, and expressing yourself clearly. And this is exactly how fluency grows, step by step, phrase by phrase. Stay focused, keep practicing, and let's continue learning even more important everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, we'll focus on everyday phrases that help you handle conversations when you need to explain things clearly, organize your thoughts, and speak in a more connected and natural way. Because real fluency is not only about knowing phrases, but also about linking them smoothly. Imagine you are explaining something step by step. You can use phrases like, first of all, repeat, first of all, or to start with, repeat, to start with. These phrases help you begin your explanation clearly. Then you can continue with, after that, repeat, after that, or next. repeat, next. Very useful for organizing ideas. And when you want to finish, you can say, finally, repeat. Finally, or in the end, repeat. In the end. Excellent. Now, let's create a simple explanation. First of all, I woke up early. After that, I had breakfast. And finally, I went to work. Now, repeat this full sentence, slowly. This is how you tell a story naturally. Now, let's move into phrases for adding more information. Something you use very often. You can say, also, repeat. Also, or besides that, repeat. Besides that. Very natural connectors. If you want to sound more fluent, you can say, on top of that. Repeat. On top of that. Excellent. Now, imagine you are speaking. I finished my work. Also, I cleaned my room. And on top of that, I went for a walk. Repeat this full sentence. Slowly, now. Let's talk about phrases for giving examples. Very important for clear communication. You can say, for example, repeat. For example, or like this. Repeat. Like this. Very simple but powerful. If you want to be more natural, you can say, for instance, repeat. For instance, excellent. Now, imagine you explain something. You should practice daily. For example, speak for 5 minutes every day. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for comparing things, something we use in daily conversations. You can say, it's similar to, repeat, it's similar to, or it's different from, repeat. It's different from. Very useful. Now, imagine you compare two things. This is similar to that, but a little different. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now. Let's talk about phrases for expressing habits, things you do regularly. You can say, I usually, repeat, I usually, or I normally, repeat, I normally. Very common phrases. If you want to talk about frequency, you can say, most of the time, repeat, most of the time, or every now and then, repeat, every now and then. Excellent. Now, imagine you describe your routine. I usually wake up early, and most of the time, I go for a walk. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for talking about past experiences. Something very important. You can say, I've been there. Repeat, I've been there. Or, I've done that before. Repeat, I've done that before. Very natural. If you want to share experience, you can say, that happened to me. Repeat, that happened to me. Excellent. Now, she imagines someone shares a story. You say, that happened to me too. I've been there. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for talking about future plans. You can say, I'm planning to. Repeat, I'm planning to. Or, I'm thinking about. Repeat, I'm thinking about. Very useful. If you are not sure, you can say, I might. Repeat, I might. Excellent. Now, imagine you talk about plans. I'm planning to travel. I might go next month. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for expressing expectations. You can say, I hope. Repeat, I hope. Or, I expect. Repeat, I expect. Very common phrases. Now, imagine you say, I hope everything goes well. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now. Let's talk about phrases for giving simple instructions. You can say, make sure to, repeat, make sure to, or don't forget to, repeat, don't forget to. Very useful. Now, imagine you remind someone, don't forget to call me. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for checking plans. You can say, are we still on? Repeat, are we still on? Or, is everything set? Repeat, is everything set? Very natural. Now, imagine you ask, are we still on for today? Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. You start explaining something. What do you say? First of all, good. You add more information. What do you say? Also, perfect. You give an example. What do you say? For example, excellent. You talk about your habit. What do you say? I usually. Very good. You talk about your experience. What do you say? I've been there. Perfect. You talk about future plans. What do you say? I'm planning to. Excellent. You remind someone. What do you say? Don't forget to. Very good. Now, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. First of all, after that, finally, also, on top of that. For example, it's similar to I usually, I've been there, I'm planning to, I hope, don't forget to. Are we still on? Excellent. You are now learning how to connect your ideas, speak more clearly, and sound more fluent in longer conversations. And this is a big step forward in your English journey. Stay calm, keep repeating, and let's continue building even more everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, it will focus on everyday phrases that help you handle conversations in social situations, when you meet new people, talk with friends, or build connections. Because communication is not only about words, it's also about comfort, tone, and confidence. Imagine you meet someone for the first time. You can say, nice to meet you, repeat, nice to meet you, or it's a pleasure to meet you, repeat, it's a pleasure to meet you. Very polite and friendly. If you want to start a simple conversation, you can say, where are you from? Repeat, where are you from? Or, what do you do? Repeat, what do you do? Excellent. Now, imagine a real situation. You meet someone. You say, hi, nice to meet you. Where are you from? Now, repeat this full sentence, slowly. Feel how natural it sounds. If you want to continue the conversation, you can say, that sounds interesting. Repeat, that sounds interesting. Or, tell me more about that. Repeat, tell me more about that. Very useful. Now, imagine someone tells you about their job. You respond, that sounds interesting. Tell me more about that. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for keeping conversations going. You can say, what about you? Repeat, what about you? Or, how about you? Repeat, how about you? These are very important for natural conversations. Now, imagine someone asks you something. You answer, and then say, what about you? Repeat this pattern, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for showing interest and attention. You can say, that's great. Repeat, that's great. Or, that's really nice. Repeat, That's really nice. Very positive responses. If you want to be more expressive, you can say, "That's awesome." Repeat, "That's awesome." Excellent. Now, imagine your friend shares good news. You say, "That's awesome. That's really nice." Repeat this full response, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for handling awkward moments. Something very common. You can say, "That's okay." Repeat, "That's okay." Or, "It happens." Repeat, "It happens." Very natural. If something is a little uncomfortable, you can say, "No worries." Repeat, "No worries." Excellent. Now, imagine a small mistake happens. You say, "That's okay. No worries. It happens." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for inviting someone. You can say, "Do you want to join?" Repeat, "Do you want to join?" Or, "Would you like to come?" Repeat, "Would you like to come?" Very useful. Now, imagine you invite a friend. You say, "Hey, would you like to come with us?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for responding to invitations politely. You can say, "I'd love to." Repeat, "I'd love to." Or, "That sounds fun." Repeat, "That sounds fun." Very natural. If you cannot go, you can say, "I wish I could." Repeat, "I wish I could." Excellent. Now, imagine someone invites you. You say, "I'd love to. That sounds fun." Repeat this full response, slowly. Now, so let's talk about phrases for asking about someone's day or feelings. You can say, "How was your day?" Repeat, "How was your day?" Or, "How are you feeling?" Repeat, "How are you feeling?" Very important phrases. Now, imagine you talk to a friend. You say, "Hey, how was your day?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for sharing your own day. You can say, "It was a busy day." Repeat, "It was a busy day." Or, "It was a good day." Repeat, "It was a good day." Very natural. If you want to give more detail, you can say, "I had a long day." Repeat, "I had a long day." Excellent. Now, imagine you respond, "It was a busy day. I had a long day." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for ending social conversations politely. You can say, "It was nice talking to you." Repeat, "It was nice talking to you." Or, "I had a great time." Repeat, "I had a great time." Very friendly. If you want to leave, you can say, "I have to go now." Repeat, "I have to go now." Excellent. Now, imagine you finish a conversation. You say, "It was nice talking to you. I have to go now." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for staying connected. You can say, "Let's keep in touch." Repeat, "Let's keep in touch." Or, "Talk soon." Repeat, "Talk soon." Very natural. Now, imagine you say goodbye. "Let's keep in touch. Talk soon." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, so let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. You meet someone. What do you say? "Nice to meet you." Good. You want to continue conversation. What do you say? "Tell me more about that." Perfect. You want to involve the other person. What do you say? "What about you?" Excellent. You invite someone. What do you say? "Would you like to come?" Very good. You accept invitation. What do you say? "I'd love to." Perfect. You ask about someone's day. What do you say? "How was your day?" Excellent. You end conversation politely. What do you say? It was nice talking to you. Very good. Now, see, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. Nice to meet you. That sounds interesting. What about you? That's awesome. No worries. Would you like to come? I'd love to. How was your day? It was a busy day. It was nice talking to you. Let's keep in touch. Excellent. You are now becoming more comfortable in social conversations, building connections, and speaking more naturally. And this is exactly what real English is about. Keep going, stay relaxed, and let's continue learning even more everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, we'll focus on everyday English phrases that help you handle conversations when you are thinking, deciding, or expressing your thoughts more clearly in longer sentences, because this is where many learners feel stuck. But with the right phrases, everything becomes much easier and smoother. Imagine someone asks you something and you need a moment to think. Instead of staying silent, you can say, "Let me think about it." Repeat, "Let me think about it." Or, "Give me a second." Repeat, "Give me a second." Very natural and helpful. If you want to sound more natural, you can say, "I need a moment." Repeat, "I need a moment." Excellent. Now, imagine someone asks you a question. You say, give me a second. Let me think about it." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. This gives you time while still speaking. Now, let's move into phrases for expressing your thoughts more clearly. You can say, "From my point of view." Repeat, "From my point of view." Or, "As far as I know." Repeat, "As far as I know." Very useful. If you want to be more casual, you can say, "The way I see it." Repeat, "The way I see it." Excellent. Now, imagine you share your opinion. You say, "From my point of view, this is a good idea." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing doubt or uncertainty. More naturally, you can say, "I'm not really sure about that." Repeat, "I'm not really sure about that." Or, "I'm not convinced." Repeat, "I'm not convinced." Very useful. If you want to be softer, you can say, "I'm not sure if that's right." Repeat, "I'm not sure if that's right." Excellent. Now, imagine someone says something. You respond, "I'm not really sure about that." "I'm not convinced." Repeat this full response, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for agreeing partially, something very important in real conversations. You can say, "I see your point." Repeat, "I see your point." Or, "You may be right." Repeat, "You may be right." Very natural. If you want to add your opinion, you can say, "But at the same time." Repeat, "But at the same time." Excellent. Now, imagine a conversation. You say, "I see your point, but at the same time, I think we should try something else." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for emphasizing your ideas. You can say, "The main thing is." Repeat, "The main thing is." Or, "What really matters is." Repeat, "What really matters is." Very powerful phrases. Now, imagine you explain something. You say, "The main thing is, we need to practice every day." Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for summarizing. When you want to finish your idea clearly, you can say, "So basically." Repeat, So basically, or in short, repeat. In short, very useful. Now, imagine you summarize. So basically, we need to keep practicing. Repeat this sentence slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for asking someone's opinion in a more natural way. You can say, "What's your take on this?" Repeat, "What's your take on this?" Or, "What do you think about that?" Repeat, "What do you think about that?" Excellent. Now, imagine you ask your friend, "So, what's your take on this?" Repeat this sentence slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for reacting thoughtfully. Instead of simple reactions, you can say, "That's a good point." Repeat, "That's a good point." Or, "I hadn't thought about that." Repeat, "I hadn't thought about that." Very natural. Now, imagine someone shares an idea. You say, "That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that." Repeat this full sentence slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for making your speech softer and more polite. You can say, "It seems like." Repeat, "It seems like." Or, "It looks like." Repeat, "It looks like." Very useful. Now, imagine you say, "It seems like we need more time." Repeat this sentence slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for asking for confirmation. You can say, "Is that right?" Repeat, "Is that right?" Or, "Am I correct?" Repeat, "Am I correct?" Very important. Now, imagine you ask, "So, we are meeting at 5. Is that right?" Repeat this full sentence slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing confidence. In a relaxed way, you can say, "I'm pretty sure." Repeat, "I'm pretty sure." Or, "I'm confident that." Repeat, "I'm confident that." Excellent. Now, imagine you say, "I'm pretty sure this will work." Repeat this sentence slowly. Now, let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. You need time to think. What do you say? "Let me think about it." Good. You express your opinion. What do you say? "From my point of view." Perfect. You are not convinced. What do you say? "I'm not convinced." Excellent. You agree partially. What do you say? "I see your point." Very good. You emphasize something. What do you say? "The main thing is." Perfect. You summarize. What do you say? So basically, excellent. You ask for opinion. What do you say? "What's your take on this?" Very good. You react thoughtfully. What do you say? "That's a good point." Perfect. Now, so let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. "Let me think about it." "From my point of view." "I'm not convinced." "I see your point." But at the same time, "The main thing is." So basically, "What's your take on this?" "That's a good point." "It seems like." "Is that right?" "I'm pretty sure." Excellent. You are now learning how to express deeper thoughts, respond more naturally, and handle longer conversations with confidence. And this is a big step toward real fluency. Keep going, stay focused, and let's continue building even more important everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, site will focus on everyday English phrases that help you deal with real-life situations where you need to manage problems, handle misunderstandings, and communicate clearly when something doesn't go as expected. Because these are the moments where natural phrases make a big difference. Imagine something goes wrong, and you need to explain the situation, you can say, "Here's what happened." Repeat, "Here's what happened." Or, "Let me explain." Repeat, "Let me explain." Very useful when you want to give clarity. Now, imagine you start explaining. Let me explain. Here's what happened. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. This helps you begin your explanation confidently. If you want to clarify something, you can say, "What I meant was." Repeat, "What I meant was." Or, "That's not what I meant." Repeat, "That's not what I meant." Excellent. Now, imagine there is a misunderstanding. You say, "That's not what I meant. What I meant was something else." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for correcting others politely. You can say, "Actually." Repeat, "Actually." Or, "I think there's a small mistake." Repeat, "I think there's a small mistake." Very gentle and polite. Now, imagine you respond, "Actually, I think there's a small mistake." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for asking someone to clarify their message. You can say, "Can you clarify that?" Repeat, "Can you clarify that?" Or, "What exactly do you mean?" Repeat, "What exactly do you mean?" Very important. Now, imagine you ask, "Sorry, can you clarify that?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for expressing confusion. You can say, "I'm a bit confused." Repeat, "I'm a bit confused." Or, "This is confusing." Repeat, "This is confusing." Very natural. If you want to be more specific, you can say, "I don't understand this part." Repeat, "I don't understand this part." Excellent. Now, imagine you say, "I'm a bit confused. I don't understand this part." Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. See, let's talk about phrases. For checking details, you can say, "Can you confirm that?" Repeat, "Can you confirm that?" Or, "Just to be sure." Repeat, "Just to be sure." Very useful. Now, imagine you say, "Just to be sure, can you confirm that?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for solving problems. You can say, "Let's fix this." Repeat, "Let's fix this." Or, "We can solve this." Repeat, "We can solve this." Very positive and practical. If you want to suggest a solution, you can say, "How about we do this?" Repeat, "How about we do this?" Excellent. Now, imagine a situation. You say, "Don't worry, we can solve this. How about we do this?" Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's talk about phrases for asking for patience. You can say, "Please bear with me." Repeat, "Please bear with me." Or, "Just give me a moment." Repeat, "Just give me a moment." Very useful. Now, imagine you say, "Please bear with me. I'm working on it." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for giving updates. You can say, "I'm working on it." Repeat, "I'm working on it." Or, "I'll let you know." Repeat, "I'll let you know." Very common in daily communication. Now, imagine you say, "I'm working on it. I'll let you know soon." Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing urgency. You can say, "As soon as possible." Repeat, "As soon as possible." Or, "Right away." Repeat, "Right away." Very important phrases. Now, Imagine you say, I'll do it right away. Repeat this sentence slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for handling delays. You can say, there's a delay. Repeat, there's a delay. Or, it's taking longer than expected. Repeat, it's taking longer than expected. Very useful. Now, imagine you say, sorry, there's a delay. It's taking longer than expected. Repeat this full sentence slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for asking for confirmation again. In a different way, you can say, are you sure? Repeat, are you sure? Or, do you mean this? Repeat, do you mean this? Excellent. Now, imagine you ask, are you sure about this? Repeat this sentence slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for closing a problem conversation politely. You can say, thanks for your patience. Repeat, thanks for your patience. Or, I appreciate your understanding. Repeat, I appreciate your understanding. Very professional and polite. Now, imagine you finish the conversation. You say, thanks for your patience. I appreciate your understanding. Repeat this full sentence slowly. Now, let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. You start explaining something. What do you say? Let me explain. Good. There is a misunderstanding. What do you say? That's not what I meant. Perfect. You are confused. What do you say? I'm a bit confused. Excellent. You want to confirm something. What do you say? Just to be sure. Very good. You want to solve a problem. What do you say? We can solve this. Perfect. You ask for patience. What do you say? Please bear with me. Excellent. You give an update. What do you say? I'm working on it. Very good. You express urgency. What do you say? Right away. Perfect. Now, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. Here's what happened. What I meant was, actually, can you clarify that? I'm a bit confused. Just to be sure. Let's fix this. Please bear with me. I'm working on it. As soon as possible. There's a delay. Thanks for your patience. Excellent. You are now learning how to handle difficult situations, explain clearly, and stay calm and confident in conversations. And this is a very important skill in real-life English. Keep practicing, stay relaxed, and let's continue building, even more important, everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, we'll focus on everyday English phrases that help you sound more natural when telling stories, sharing experiences, and describing situations in a way that feels smooth and engaging, because storytelling is a big part of real communication. Imagine you want to start telling a story. You can begin with simple phrases like, so, here's the thing. Repeat. So, here's the thing. Or, you won't believe what happened. Repeat. You won't believe what happened. These phrases grab attention and make your speech more interesting. If you want to introduce a situation, you can say, the other day. Repeat. The other day. Or, a while ago. Repeat. A while ago. Very common and natural. Now, imagine you start a story. The other day. You won't believe what happened. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Feel the natural rhythm. Now, let's move into phrases For describing what happened next, you can say, and then, repeat, and then, or, after that, repeat, after that. Very useful for storytelling. If you want to show surprise, you can say, all of a sudden, repeat, all of a sudden. Excellent. Now, imagine your story continues. And then, all of a sudden, something unexpected happened. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases. For expressing reactions in stories, you can say, I was like, repeat, I was like, or, I couldn't believe it, repeat, I couldn't believe it. Very natural phrases, used in spoken English. Now, imagine you describe your reaction. I was like, wow, I couldn't believe it. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases. For describing feelings during a story, you can say, I felt really happy. Repeat, I felt really happy. Or, I was so nervous. Repeat, I was so nervous. Very useful. Now, imagine you say, I was so nervous, but also excited. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases. For adding details, you can say, to be honest, repeat, to be honest, or, actually, repeat, actually. Very common in storytelling. Now, imagine you add detail. To be honest, I didn't expect that. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases. For explaining reasons in a story, you can say, because of that. Repeat, because of that. Or, that's why. Repeat, that's why. Very useful. Now, imagine you explain, I missed the bus. That's why I was late. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases. For describing results, you can say, in the end, repeat, in the end, or, it turned out that, repeat, it turned out that. Excellent. Now, imagine you finish your story. In the end, everything was fine. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases. For expressing lessons or reflections, you can say, I learned that. Repeat, I learned that. Or, from that day on. Repeat, from that day on. Very meaningful phrases. Now, just imagine you reflect. I learned that. I should be more careful. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases. For reacting to someone else's story, you can say, that sounds crazy. Repeat, that sounds crazy. Or, that must have been difficult. Repeat, that must have been difficult. Very natural. Now, imagine someone tells you a story. You say, wow, that sounds crazy. Repeat this full response, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases. For asking follow-up questions, you can say, what happened next? Repeat, what happened next? Or, and then what? Repeat, and then what? Very useful. Now, imagine you ask, really? What happened next? Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases. For ending your story naturally, you can say, that's it. Repeat, that's it. Or, that's what happened. Repeat, that's what happened. Very simple and natural. Now, imagine you finish. And yeah, that's what happened. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. You start a story. What do you say? The other day. Good. You continue. What do you say? And then, perfect. Something surprising happens. What do you say? All of a sudden. Excellent. You react. What do you say? I couldn't believe it. Very good. You explain the reason. What do you say? That's why. Perfect. You finish your story. What do you say? In the end. Excellent. You ask someone, what do you say? What happened next? Very good. Now. See, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. So, here's the thing. The other day, and then, all of a sudden, I was like, to be honest, that's why. In the end, I learned that. That sounds crazy. What happened next? That's what happened. Excellent. You are now learning how to tell stories, share experiences, and express yourself in a more engaging and natural way. And this is a powerful skill. In everyday English, keep practicing, stay relaxed, and let's continue building. Even more important, everyday English phrases. Together, let's continue. And now, we'll focus on everyday English phrases that help you handle conversations when you are dealing with daily responsibilities, tasks, and real-life situations where you need to be clear, efficient, and natural at the same time. Imagine you are talking about something you need to do. You can say, I need to take care of this. Repeat, I need to take care of this. Or, I have to handle this. Repeat, I have to handle this. Very useful. When talking about responsibilities, if you want to explain urgency, you can say, this can't wait. Repeat, this can't wait. Or, I need to do this right now. Repeat, I need to do this right now. Excellent. Now, imagine you are busy. You say, I need to take care of this. It can't wait. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Yeah, let's move into phrases for managing your time, something we all do every day. You can say, I'm running out of time. Repeat, I'm running out of time. Or, I don't have enough time. Repeat, I don't have enough time. Very natural. If you want to be more relaxed, you can say, I still have time. Repeat, I still have time. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, I'm running out of time. I need to hurry. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for prioritizing tasks. You can say, this comes first. Repeat, this comes first. Or, I'll do this first. Repeat, I'll do this first. Very practical. If you want to delay something, you can say, I'll do it later. Repeat, I'll do it later. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, I'll do this first, and the rest later. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's move into phrases for making commitments. You can say, I'll make sure. Repeat, I'll make sure. Or, I promise. Repeat, I promise. Very strong and confident phrases. Now, imagine you say, I'll make sure it gets done. Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for check-in progress. You can say, how's it going so far? Repeat, how's it going so far? Or, any updates? Repeat, any updates? Very useful. Now, imagine you ask, hey, how's it going so far? Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. So let's move into phrases for giving updates more clearly. You can say, I'm almost done. Repeat, I'm almost done. Or, I still have a lot to do. Repeat. I still have a lot to do. Very common. If you want to be specific, you can say, I'm halfway through. Repeat. I'm halfway through. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, I'm almost done. Just a few things left. Repeat this full sentence. Slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases. For dealing with pressure, you can say, I'm under pressure. Repeat. I'm under pressure. Or, there's a lot going on. Repeat. There's a lot going on. Very natural. If you want to stay calm, you can say, I'll handle it. Repeat. I'll handle it. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, there's a lot going on, but I'll handle it. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. So let's move into phrases. For asking someone to wait or be patient, you can say, just give me a little time. Repeat, just give me a little time. Or, I'll be with you in a moment. Repeat, I'll be with you in a moment. Very useful. Now, imagine you say, I'll be with you in a moment. Just give me a little time. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases. For confirming completion, you can say, it's done. Repeat, it's done. Or, I've finished. Repeat, I've finished. Very simple and natural. If you want to be more expressive, you can say, everything is ready. Repeat, everything is ready. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, it's done. Everything is ready. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's move into phrases. For double-checking your work, you can say, let me check again. Repeat, let me check again. Or, just to make sure. Repeat, just to make sure. Very useful. Now, imagine you say, let me check again, just to make sure everything is correct. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases. For asking for help with tasks, you can say, can you give me a hand? Repeat, can you give me a hand? Or, I could use some help. Repeat, I could use some help. Very natural. Now, imagine you say, hey, I could use some help with this. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases. For offering to take responsibility, you can say, I'll take care of it. Repeat, I'll take care of it. Or, leave it to me. Repeat, leave it to me. Very confident phrases. Now, why imagine you say, don't worry, I'll take care of it. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. You have something important to do. What do you say? I need to take care of this. Good. You don't have much time. What do you say? I'm running out of time. Perfect. You decide priority. What do you say? I'll do this first. Excellent. You promise something. What do you say? I'll make sure. Very good. You ask for an update. What do you say? Any updates? Perfect. You're almost done. What do you say? I'm almost done. Excellent. You are under pressure. What do you say? There's a lot going on. Very good. You finish your work. What do you say? It's done. Perfect. Now, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. I need to take care of this. This can't wait. I'm running out of time. I'll do this first. I'll make sure. How's it going so far? I'm almost done. There's a lot going on. I'll be with you in a moment. It's done. Let me check again. I could use some help. I'll take care of it. Excellent. You are now learning how to handle daily responsibilities, manage tasks, and communicate clearly in real-life situations. And this is exactly what makes your English practical and useful. Keep going, stay focused, and let's continue building even more important everyday English phrases together. Let's continue, and now, we'll focus on everyday English phrases that help you express your thoughts more naturally when you are talking about preferences, choices, and personal decisions, because these are things we talk about every single day, and using the right phrases will make your English sound much more fluent and natural. Imagine you want to talk about what you like. You can say, I really like this. Repeat, I really like this. Or, I'm a big fan of this. Repeat, I'm a big fan of this. Very natural and expressive. If you want to be softer, you can say, I kind of like it. Repeat, I kind of like it. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, I really like this. I'm a big fan of it. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's move into phrases for talking about dislikes. You can say, I don't really like this. Repeat, I don't really like this. Or, I'm not a fan of this. Repeat, I'm not a fan of this. Very useful. If you want to be stronger, you can say, I don't like this at all. Repeat, I don't like this at all. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, I'm not a fan of this. I don't really like it. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's talk about phrases for making choices. You can say, I'll go with this. Repeat, I'll go with this. Or, I'll choose this one. Repeat, I'll choose this one. Very practical. If you are deciding between options, you can say, I'm trying to decide. Repeat, I'm trying to decide. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, I'm trying to decide, but I'll go with this. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's move into phrases for comparing options. You can say, this one is better. Repeat, this one is better. Or, this one works better. Repeat, this one works better. Very useful. If you want to explain, you can say, it's easier. Repeat, it's easier. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, this one works better. It's easier to use. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's talk about phrases for expressing strong preferences. You can say, I'd rather do this. Repeat, I'd rather do this. Or, I'd prefer this. Repeat, I'd prefer this. Very natural. Now, imagine you say, I'd rather stay home. I'd prefer something quiet. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. So let's move into phrases for changing your mind. Something that happens often. You can say, I changed my mind. Repeat, I changed my mind. Or, on second thought. Repeat, on second thought. Very useful. Now, imagine you say, on second thought, I changed my mind. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for making quick decisions. You can say, let's just do it. Repeat, let's just do it. Or, why not? Repeat, why not? Very natural. Now, imagine you say, why not? Let's just do it. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for expressing hesitation. You can say, I'm not sure about this. Repeat, I'm not sure about this. Or, I need more time. Repeat, I need more time. Very useful. Now, imagine you say, I'm not sure about this. I need more time. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for agreeing to a decision. You can say, that sounds good to me. Repeat, that sounds good to me. Or, I'm okay with that. Repeat, I'm okay with that. Very natural. Now, imagine you say, that sounds good to me. I'm okay with that. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for disagreeing politely. You can say, I'm not sure about that. Repeat, I'm not sure about that. Or, I don't think so. Repeat, I don't think so. Very useful. If you want to soften it, you can say, maybe not. Repeat, maybe not. Excellent. Now, imagine you say, I'm not sure about that. Maybe not. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for asking others to choose. You can say, what do you prefer? Repeat, what do you prefer? Or, which one do you like? Repeat, which one do you like? Very natural. Now, imagine you ask, which one do you prefer? Repeat this sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for confirming your choice. You can say, this is the one. Repeat, this is the one. Or, I've decided. Repeat, I've decided. Very confident phrases. Now, imagine you say, I've decided. This is the one. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. You like something. What do you say? I really like this. Good. You don't like something. What do you say? I'm not a fan of this. Perfect. You make a choice. What do you say? I'll go with this. Excellent. You compare options. What do you say? This one works better. Very good. You change your mind. What do you say? I changed my mind. Perfect. You make a quick decision. What do you say? Why not? Excellent. You hesitate. What do you say? I need more time. Very good. You agree. What do you say? That sounds good to me. Perfect. Now, Sal, let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. I really like this. I'm not a fan of this. I'll go with this. I'm trying to decide. This one works better. I'd rather, on second thought. Why not? I'm not sure about this. That sounds good to me. Maybe not. Which one do you prefer? I've decided. Excellent. You are now becoming more confident in expressing your preferences, making decisions, and speaking naturally in everyday situations. And this is a very important part of real communication. Keep practicing, stay relaxed, and let's continue building. Even more important, everyday English phrases. Together, let's continue. And now, we'll focus on everyday English phrases that help you handle conversations when you want to be more expressive, more natural, and more emotionally connected. Because real communication is not just about information, it's also about feeling, tone, and connection. Imagine someone shares something exciting with you. Instead of giving a simple answer, you can say, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Repeat, that's amazing. I'm so happy for you. Very warm and natural. If you want to react with excitement, you can say, that's great news. Repeat, that's great news. Or, I'm really excited to hear that. Repeat, I'm really excited to hear that. Excellent. Now, imagine your friend tells you good news. You respond, That's great news. I'm really excited to hear that. Repeat this full sentence. Slowly, now. Let's move into phrases for showing sympathy or concern. Very important in daily conversations. You can say, I'm sorry to hear that. Repeat, I'm sorry to hear that. Or, that must be hard. Repeat, that must be hard. Very natural. If you want to be more supportive, you can say, I'm here for you. Repeat, I'm here for you. Excellent. Now, imagine someone shares a problem. You say, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm here for you. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for encouraging someone in a deeper way. You can say, you'll get through this. Repeat, you'll get through this. Or, stay strong. Repeat, stay strong. Very supportive. If you want to be more natural, you can say, keep going. Repeat, keep going. Excellent. Now, imagine your friend feels down. You say, stay strong. You'll get through this. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for expressing gratitude in a more meaningful way. You can say, I really appreciate your help. Repeat, I really appreciate your help. Or, that means a lot to me. Repeat, that means a lot to me. Very powerful. Now, imagine someone helps you. You say, thank you. That really means a lot to me. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing surprise in a stronger way. You can say, that's unbelievable. Repeat, that's unbelievable. Or, I didn't expect that. Repeat, I didn't expect that. Very expressive. Now, imagine you react. Wow, that's unbelievable. I didn't expect that. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for showing understanding and empathy. You can say, I understand how you feel. Repeat, I understand how you feel. Or, I know what you mean. Repeat, I know what you mean. Very important. Now, imagine someone shares a feeling. You say, I understand how you feel. I know what you mean. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing relief. Something we often feel. You can say, that's a relief. Repeat, that's a relief. Or, I'm glad to hear that. Repeat, I'm glad to hear that. Very natural. Now, imagine you say, that's a relief. I'm glad to hear that. Repeat this full sentence, slowly, now. Let's move into phrases for expressing disappointment. You can say, that's disappointing. Repeat, that's disappointing. Or, that's too bad. Repeat, that's too bad. Very common. Now, imagine you say, oh, that's too bad. That's disappointing. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for reacting calmly. You can say, it's not a big deal. Repeat, it's not a big deal. Or, it happens. Repeat, it happens. Very reassuring. Now, imagine you say, it's not a big deal. It happens. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for building stronger connections in conversations. You can say, I really enjoy talking to you. Repeat, I really enjoy talking to you. Or, it's always nice to talk with you. Repeat, it's always nice to talk with you. Very warm. Now, imagine you say, I really enjoy talking to you. It's always nice to talk with you. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, Let's talk about phrases for ending conversations warmly. You can say, take care of yourself. Repeat, take care of yourself. Or, have a great day. Repeat, have a great day. Very natural. Now, imagine you say, all right, take care of yourself. Have a great day. Repeat this full sentence. Slowly. Now. See, let's do a strong practice exercise together. Respond naturally. Someone shares good news. What do you say? That's amazing. Good. Someone is sad. What do you say? I'm sorry to hear that. Perfect. You want to encourage someone. What do you say? You'll get through this. Excellent. Someone helps you. What do you say? That means a lot to me. Very good. You are surprised. What do you say? That's unbelievable. Perfect. You show understanding. What do you say? I understand how you feel. Excellent. You feel relieved. What do you say? That's a relief. Very good. You end a conversation warmly. What do you say? Take care of yourself. Perfect. Now. So let's repeat some key phrases together, slowly and clearly. That's amazing. I'm so happy for you. I'm sorry to hear that. I'm here for you. Stay strong. That means a lot to me. That's unbelievable. I understand how you feel. That's a relief. That's too bad. It's not a big deal. I really enjoy talking to you. Take care of yourself. Excellent. You are now expressing emotions more naturally, connecting better with people, and speaking in a way that feels real and human, and this is one of the most important parts of fluency. Keep going, stay relaxed, and let's continue building even more important everyday English phrases together. Let's continue. And now, we'll complete your learning journey with some final everyday English phrases that bring everything together. Phrases that help you sound smooth, confident, and completely natural in real conversations. Because now, it's not just about learning phrases, it's about using them effortlessly in your daily life. Imagine you are in a conversation and you want to keep things flowing naturally. You can say, you know what I mean? Repeat, you know what I mean? Or, if that makes sense. Repeat, if that makes sense. These phrases help you stay connected with the listener. Now, imagine you are explaining something. You say, it's kind of difficult. You know what I mean? Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Feel how natural it sounds. Now, let's move into phrases for being more casual and relaxed. You can say, it's up to you. Repeat, it's up to you. Or, whatever works for you. Repeat, whatever works for you. Very common in daily life. Now, imagine you say, it's up to you. Whatever works for you. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for handling unexpected situations calmly. You can say, let's see what happens. Repeat, let's see what happens. Or, we'll figure it out. Repeat, we'll figure it out. Very natural and positive. Now, imagine you say, don't worry, we'll figure it out. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now. So let's move into phrases for expressing effort and progress. You can say, I'm working on it. Repeat, I'm working on it. Or I'm getting better. Repeat, I'm getting better. Very important for your English journey. Now, imagine you say, I'm working on it. I'm getting better every day. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for expressing limits politely. You can say, that's all I can do. Repeat, that's all I can do. Or, that's the best I can do. Repeat, that's the best I can do. Very useful. Now, imagine you say, I'm sorry, that's the best I can do. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now. So let's move into phrases for giving reassurance. You can say, everything is under control. Repeat, everything is under control. Or, there's nothing to worry about. Repeat, there's nothing to worry about. Very calming. Now, imagine you say, everything is under control. There's nothing to worry about. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for showing flexibility. You can say, I'm okay either way. Repeat, I'm okay either way. Or, it doesn't matter to me. Repeat, it doesn't matter to me. Very natural. Now, imagine you say, I'm okay either way. It doesn't matter to me. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for expressing readiness. You can say, I'm ready. Repeat, I'm ready. Or, let's do this. Repeat, let's do this. Very confident phrases. Now, imagine you say, all right, I'm ready. Let's do this. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's talk about phrases for wrapping up actions or tasks. You can say, that's it for now. Repeat, that's it for now. Or, we're all set. Repeat, we're all set. Very useful. Now, imagine you say, everything is ready. We're all set. Repeat this full sentence, slowly. Now, let's move into phrases for light encouragement and positivity. You can say, keep it up. Repeat, keep it up. Or, you're doing great. Repeat, you're doing great. Very motivating. Now, let's bring everything together with a full practice flow. Listen carefully, and then repeat after me. You meet someone. You say, hey, how's it going? They respond. You say, that's great. What about you? They tell you something. You say, that sounds interesting. Tell me more. Later, you don't understand something. You say, sorry, I didn't quite get that. Then you agree. That makes sense. You make a plan. Sounds good. Let's do this. Something goes wrong. Don't worry. We'll figure it out. And finally, you end the conversation. All right. Take care. Now, repeat this full flow, slowly, step by step. Now. So let's do one final deep practice exercise together. I will give you situations, and you respond naturally. You want to check understanding. What do you say? If that makes sense. Good. You want to give freedom of choice. What do you say? It's up to you. Perfect. Something unexpected happens. What do you say? We'll figure it out. Excellent. You talk about your progress. What do you say? I'm getting better. Very good. You reassure someone. What do you say? There's nothing to worry about. Perfect. You show flexibility. What do you say? I'm okay either way. Excellent. You are ready to start. What do you say? Let's do this. Very good. You encourage someone. What do you say? Keep it up. Perfect. Now, let's repeat some final key phrases together, slowly and clearly. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. It's up to you. Whatever works for you. We'll figure it out. I'm getting better. That's the best I can do. Everything is under control. I'm okay either way. I'm ready. We're all set. Keep it up. You're doing great. Excellent. Take a moment, breathe, and notice how many phrases you can now understand, how many you can now say, and how much more natural your English is becoming. This is how real fluency grows, not by memorizing difficult rules, but by using simple, powerful, everyday phrases again and again until they become a part of you. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I truly appreciate your effort, your focus, and your dedication to improving your English step by step in your calm and natural way. You've just practiced a large number of everyday English phrases, the kind of phrases that people actually use in real life. And the more you repeat them, the more confident and fluent you will become. So don't stop here. Come back to this lesson. Listen again, repeat again, and try to use these phrases in your daily conversations. Remember, you don't need perfect English. You just need consistent practice, a little every day, and over time, you will see real progress. You will start to understand more, speak more naturally, and feel more comfortable using English in your life. If you enjoyed learning with me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell icon so you never miss a new lesson. Because we are here every day, helping you grow your English in a simple, supportive, and effective way. Keep practicing, keep believing in yourself, and I'll see you in the next lesson. Take care and keep going.